So if you're super into the Porsche world, you probably know that the GT3 RS is the fastest track car they make. But did anyone show you actually how to raise and lower the wing from the inside without having to actually engage DRS while driving? Well, let me do that real quick. And I'll also be showing you guys a few other cool things in this video that you probably don't know about the GT3 RS. So first thing, like I said, as far as deploying that spoiler on your own. Right now you see it's in the up position, you kind of see it up. If you actually, I'm gonna backtrack here and show you the screen. You go to vehicle, this is gonna be in while the engine's on, or even in accessory mode like I am right now. Go to aerodynamic, or in dynamic downforce. You should hit low downforce, you confirm it, and then it lowers it. And I'll put a shot overlay on what it looks like on the outside. And it's pretty cool, it's really fast. You kind of might have picked it up on the microphone, but that's how you do it, right? So the normal way to use it while driving is by being like over a certain speed. You hit DRS and it shows that DRS is active and ready and engaged. But I think most people probably want to figure out how to do this in case they want to play around with it. But with that, let's talk about this wing. Let's talk about this wing and let's talk about what it does to this vehicle, because it does a lot of cool things, as I'm sure you can tell, or you can trust that the Porsche engineers really put a lot of effort into it. So yes, it is an active spoiler, but the rear wing alone adds significant 3 times the downforce compared to a GT3 and 2 times the downforce compared to a previous generation GT3 RS, which is amazing and honestly very impressive. It is also the highest point on the vehicle compared to the roofline. So to put that into perspective, it just shows how extreme it is. And what's really cool is just the Porsche lettering on the bottom, right? It's all carbon fiber, as you can see by this exposed carbon fiber beauty. You can see the hydraulic actuators and then lines that actually route through this swan neck mount. It's the name of that, top mounted wing setup. And the hydraulic systems are actually underneath here, which is why you can't actually see the engine. You only get these little push tabs, which are actually locked right now, for your coolant as well as your oil. So yeah, like we said, carbon fiber, these side plates, which you can get like, cool graphics on the side if you want. And then this spoiler down here is also carbon fiber. So yeah, but again, it wouldn't be complete just with a rear wing alone. And that's where the aero up front really tells a story, because this entire aero system, as well as a lot of the things they did to the GT3 RS versus the GT3, actually added significant weight compared to it. It's actually heavier. So they had to make up for it with the performance that each of those pounds were adding onto the vehicle. So to get more out of the aerodynamics as possible, they actually removed the radiators from the side of the vehicle and made one large center radiator. So you actually have small aero elements where those side radiators are. I'll put an image of it because that probably does it best. And those actually go up and down and correspond to the rear wing to get that complete downforce or low DRS slipstream aero package when the driver needs it. So it's not just a big rear wing and then boom, it actually wings up front that you don't see that are doing a lot of the work as well. But let me open up the hood over here and show you what I mean by that center radiator, as well as what they did to the flow around that to get you optimal performance. Horsepower actually is a big result of all the louvers you see here. And I know it doesn't make sense, but let me open this up here for you guys. Oh yeah, and that logo is actually painted on, which is amazing because you can barely even tell. It looks like a sticker, but it's not. It used to be a sticker. And you can see the louvers on the bottom, full carbon fiber roof, massive center radiator. So you can actually, while driving, see like the mirage effect from the hot air that it's extracting. But on top of that, this is actually cooling down the vehicle significantly. So what goes in, down here is cold air, but what comes up over there is hot air. And that hot air, as you guys know, isn't good for an engine. We don't want hot air going into your engine. And that's where these louvers come in. Those louvers, those fins, actually help tell the air, push the air to go along the side of the vehicle. Now, air always chooses the path of least resistance, but let's follow it along. Let's go along the journey of the air, right? You're gonna go along the side here, it's gonna get pushed. You're also gonna get high pressure air that's built up underneath the wheel well that extracts from these louvers. And that also gets pushed along the side of the vehicle. Now, like I said, it wants to choose the path of least resistance. So where is it gonna go? Up over the top, because it's hot air rises. If you guys remember science class, hot air rises, and then what they had to do was put these fins here to prevent that hot air from wrapping over the roof and going straight into your engine. So now you have to put these fins here to redirect the air along the side of the vehicle and then go under the wing, over the wing, whatever it ends up, doing in order to produce that downforce. So now, while you do get margins, I think it's around 16 more horsepower than a GT3, you get a little bit less torque, but these contribute to that additional horsepower. If you were getting hot air going into your vehicle, you'd be getting less horsepower, which they don't want. This thing's already, has a lot of drag as it is. It needs as much power as possible. So they added those fins to do that. But on top of that, you might be seeing this, how the air travels along the side of the vehicle, right? You have the fin up there, which creates that air current around the wheel. And then this larger fin with a cutout, and it's that carbon fiber door that goes along the side, tries to guide it as much as possible into here. And you might be like, oh wait, that's gonna go into your engine, right? That's nice cold air straight into your engine. This actually directs 0 air into your engine. It's actually a pass-through. So this feeds air around, literally over the wheel, and extracts out the backside. So you see this additional fin over here to guide that air that exits over the wheel well. So it is the turbo body, so it's the nice 911 turbo side duct, but that's not used for additional air intake, which is pretty interesting. I was surprised to learn that. But man, we're just talking so much aero just here, but that's really the beauty of this system, is it basically has like air bending superpowers to get this car glued to the ground as well as sliding through it when it needs to, as efficiently as possible. A thing you don't see under here as well is the control arms. The suspension components are actually teardropped, kind of like a wing, to be as aerodynamic as possible, which is crazy. But like I said, they added weight. This is all a heavier package. So let's talk about what they did to save as much weight as possible. So we talked about the carbon fiber hood up front. These fenders, while they're painted, are also carbon fiber, which is really cool. The doors are carbon fiber, and they're actually the same doors used in the ST, or the ST uses the same doors here, and you can tell because of this cutout. This lip or line that helps take air from underneath the wheel and guides along the side. That's kind of your indication they wanted to make one single door for across the lineup, so you get that character line. On top of that, these doors are not keyless entry. They're unlocked right now, but they are not the ones that you get on the newer 992 generation Porsche 911, which is pretty interesting. You also get carbon fiber mirror caps. I'm gonna say some weight, a little carbon fiber, which is a nice touch. Not a lot of companies do that. You also get a full carbon fiber roof, which is really cool. Carbon fiber rear quarter panels. Like I mentioned, the wings are all carbon fiber. I don't want to repeat that. You also get magnesium wheels that are 21 inches in the front, 20 inches in the rear, and these are beautiful wheels. They have cutouts built into the spokes right there. Save as much weight as possible. You also get lighter weight carbon ceramic brakes, but those are an option. They know people are going to track this car, and they know that not everyone who tracks their car wants carbon ceramic brakes, because these are more expensive to replace and they can get damaged and things like that. A lot of people who track their cars actually use steel rotors. The anti-roll bar, which you can't see as well, is made out of carbon fiber. Look at the door panels, as you can expect. This is the Y-Sock package, so you get additional carbon fiber door handle here on the inside, nylon pull tab to open the door. But then these bucket seats are also made out of carbon fiber. Look really cool. They do adjust, if you guys are curious, they go up and down. So if you are shorter, but they just slide on a rack manually. So yeah, that's as far as the weight reduction goes. You also get lightweight glass all around, so you are gonna get more noise getting to the vehicle, but it is lighter. So that's something they prioritized. But let me hop in here. Let's talk about the interior, because it's quite special when you're inside this GT3 RS. Okay, I'm gonna go wide angle here. Let's talk about it, guys. It's in accessory mode. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on the interior with the steering wheel. Nice race text. That's what their name, they call suede or Alcantara. Race text on the dash. Intentional to reduce glare as compared to like leather, which will have a nice shine to it. This doesn't. On top of that, metal paddle shifters that have a magnetic latch, kind of like a Formula One or like a race car steering wheel. Very nice positive engagement. And you get all these knobs. I'm gonna do a quick breakdown. If you guys actually want to grab some snacks and get ready, because this is gonna be a quick lesson on everything you see on the steering wheel, because there's a lot to go through. I'm gonna start on the right here with the drive mode selector, because you need to get into track mode, which you do by going over just like that. While the vehicle's on, obviously, you're gonna want that, but go into track mode first, then these knobs become active. So let's do that real quick. So right here you have PASM. I don't know if I can press it. Yep, I can press it. Cool. Even accessories mode. Hopefully don't kill the battery. But I'll be as fast as possible. PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management. You press that and you get these knobs turn into these controls as you see up here. They correspond to them. So you have front and rear compression and then front and rear rebound on all four corners. You press that to kind of close out of that menu. And then those knobs, again, like I said, that's how you control your 4 positive and then 4 negative stages of adjustment for each of those settings. Then you go on to PTV Plus, Porsche Torque Vectoring. That's your limited slip differential settings. You press that, and then you can adjust how much your differential locks under coasting or under power. I'm not an expert on differentials, I'll be honest. That is not my area of expertise. I understand the general concept, but if you want to adjust that to your preferences, you have that ability. Again, 4 stages positive, 4 stages negative. Press to exit that. Then you have your electronic stability control and traction control. And you press that, and check this out. You have on, and then you want it to be even more intervening. You have 7, 6, 5, 4 on traction control. You can have dynamic, which lets you loosen it up a little bit to 3, 2, 1, and you have to turn ESC off to turn traction control off. So you see how once you go on a dynamic mode, you're limited on your traction control settings and so on and so forth. So those are your adjustments there between your ESC and TC, which is pretty cool. Again, let's keep that on so we don't hurt ourselves here. And yeah, really cool layout, very intuitive, but also insane amounts of customization on that. You also have, again, your paddle shifters, which we talked about, but also your DRS button right there, which we already explained to you guys. So I'm not going to bore you guys about that. Let's go down here. There are more controls. Front axle lift, which is an option, not standard on this vehicle. And then you also have your active roll stabilization, so your PDCC, Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control. You press that and it turns on or off on track mode. It'll always be on. If we go into, let's actually exit here. Let me show you that. Let's go exit. Let's go normal. This will turn off. And now you want to turn PDCC on. It'll basically engage your anti-roll bar. It'll be very, very aggressive on turn-in, and that's because that anti-roll bar is engaged. Or you can have it more street driving and regular, so just sport or regular mode. You also have physical buttons here for ESC and TC, which is kind of redundant, but that's fine. And then you have your PDK, Porsche Double Coupling Getriebe, Porsche Dual Clutch Transmission, with the sequential shifting if you like as well. So I hope I didn't bore you to death. There's still a few more settings here. You have, again, sport exhaust on, we show you that, and then touch controls for the chassis setting, which I had mentioned earlier. So another quick thing, stopwatch, you can control that here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of stuff. But again, they know if you're going to be taking this on the track, guys, you're going to want that. One other thing this thing doesn't have in the back is rear seats. They removed those. And there is optional there's an optional roll bar, but we don't get it here in the United States. It is offered overseas, so keep that in mind. Now, what is it like to drive the GT3 RS? It is stiff, it is loud, but it's perfect. That is, I feel like, the perfect way to have a GT3 RS. Now, are you going to daily drive this? Maybe. Can you? Theoretically, if you have a really strong back. But the seats honestly do a really good job of hugging you, and they're really well padded, so you actually get some good cushion. It is a stiff vehicle, even if it's in its softest setting, but honestly, that's part of the experience. And this is meant to be a track car, so you definitely feel like you are in a track car. But it's street legal, and you can drive it every single day. So the cost on this one is $285,000, but we know in the world of Porsches, you need to have acquired other Porsches and show that you are loyal to the Porsche brand. But if you have the opportunity to purchase one of these, do it. Yeah, because we know after this, Porsche is going to be electrified. They're going to be electrifying their vehicles. There's rumors of the hybrid 911 on the way. And then that will be making its way into maybe the GT2 RS with turbos and electric motor. I'm speculating here. I don't know anything. Trust me. But if you want the most track-focused Porsche 911, the most extreme one you can get, this is it. And the wing, I think, is unlike anything else you've ever seen. I want to go back to that just to kind of really appreciate it. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think of this. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more. I hope you guys learned something additional about the Porsche 911 992 GT3 RS. Subscribe, smash the like button. I might have said that already. But yeah, guys, peace.